Chit Chat is ironic. It's because she was so quiet as a kid, but her game speaks loudly.
Well said, Elise, as we take a look at our all-state starting line.
In the postseason, injury-riddled, obviously, without Taylor McCabe. He has an ACL injury and out for the season as a senior. Illinois, most disciplined defensively inside, but also who's going to be the most effective on the offensive end.
Strong take by Barry Wallace, getting the ball right into her hands. The ball goes off of Stolke.
Practice today at shoot-around. Jan Jensen said, she got it taped up pretty well and was able to practice, so that gave them a lot of hope that she'd be able to come out and be effective here. Her players, because of her experience going to 2 Final Fours, championship games.
And Stolke from the mid-range, she drops it through for 2. On a little reminiscence, a couple years ago in Minneapolis for the Big Ten tournament, it was Carver North. It's feeling a little bit like Carver East here for their tournament debut here in 2020 semifinals. 3rd game in 3 days, though, for the Illini.
Yeah, no, she's super excited. She just wants the carryover to be seen with the connectivity on both ends.
Chit Chat right, one of the most efficient.
With her family, obviously, but I thought this was a great move to get here. But I want to see Destiny Jackson and Chit Chat go at it all evening. So we have a great pin down actions here on the strong side.
Stolke slices her way through, can't convert at the rim. So jumping right back into things as Brown Haggard drops it on the backdoor cut. Parchment is fouled. No, there's going to be a turnover.
Game this season, so hopefully she'll be able to sustain herself with that level of efficiency.
We've been working through Barry Wallace, one of the top scorers in the Big Ten. The long-range 2 is good.
Well, she is really fun to watch. She has that.
One of the best 6 players in the Big Ten into the contest, almost loses it. 5 to shoot for Wallace. She's been walled up every time, finds Weber, who's...
Yeah, it looked like some zone right there by Iowa, 2-3, and they'll mix it up on the defensive side, too, in terms of their schematics.
Ava Hyden, just that easy.
Find a way when you have a height disadvantage. You don't want to give up the baseline side, made her go middle.
Here she goes right back at Vasconcelos and is fouled. The Hall of Famer Teresa Drentz, for most in program history, plus Christie, she's now 2nd all-time in win.
You can see it on her face right there. She's talking, she's thinking about the next thing that can help the advantage what I have if I had to check myself. And I think Chit Chat and Destiny are thinking that way.
Yerbach takes the feed, beautiful. Been so important to this team from a leadership and presence perspective. The moment she's able to step up is Hyden will travel from outside.
Push off.
Iowa holding the Illini to 2 of 12 shooting as Parchment with 2 fouls will drive along the big
lane in their game yesterday against Michigan State, especially early on.
Another bucket for the Iowa Hawks.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, Christine, we'll try that over again. Another beautiful move for...
She was walled up again defensively by Fierbach. I mean, she's everywhere and doing everything for Iowa right now.
Taylor Stremlow forces her.
Wants her team to bring that high rate of work ethic and trying to fire them up, guys.
Thanks, Elise. And this is an Illini team that wants another game. Green said, I could feel the disappointment in the locker room. I wanted them to feel it, but they took those lessons from that loss. They've been using it here in the Big Ten tournament days.
They can play all day. Young legs out here. They're fine.
Barry Wallace spinning against Stolke. What a fun matchup that is. It deserves recognition for continuing that legacy. Speaking of, here's the 2-player game. It finds Stremlow, who drains the triple.
Yeah, Strem's event. The lineage of the power players that have come through the Iowa Hawkeyes team over the years. And that's why this game is so intriguing. Iowa right now holding this solid lead because they've been able to knock in shots.
Stremlow feeling good. Down by 13 here early in the 2nd quarter. It was a slow start. Iowa very hot as Destiny Jackson forces her way to 11 a.m. Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. UCLA, slow start for them here. We're so fun to watch. Incredibly competitive down to the wire, but it is the Buckeyes moving.
Back on the offensive end made things difficult. And things got going in a magnificent way. So than last season's Final Four team.
She was a star player of the game, joining our friends at the desk. Would not engage in the dance like her teammates. Parchment. Illinois shooting 33%. The Hawkeyes 61% at this point as Jackson plows over right, but
trying to get some off-ball movement here and trying to get some reversals. There you go.
Heading downhill, Deal muscling her way to.
It was almost a big body pins finish.
Destiny Jackson at tight spot finds a flying Brown Hager. She came out of nowhere, shot out of the line. First bucket for Brown Hager, one of the leaders and important voices on this team is Stolke.
Annapolis to support the program and continue that way. And Gabby Marshall, I love seeing her there, just recently engaged. And it's just really cute.
We're getting taped up there as Hayden has a couple free throws.
Guard. Just some great runs for the Hawkeyes, playing alongside Caitlin Clark.
Bits. And that is especially fun to see.
Yeah. And Jensen, she's the 6th overall coach at Iowa, so, I mean, we go back.
Not that time. It's going to be a turnover. 5 on the Illini. Look at that heads-up play. Taylor Strep. Brown Hager slices her way to the rim for he can't connect inside.
Look at Fearbox's eyes. I mean, she was just set up so nicely defensively. Oops.
Stremmel is a player who just let her play without any reins or constraints. The 3 is good by Houston off target.
It's a little too much on that one, but still, I like the idea, and the spacing was there. Ooh, a little ice
Jackson,
skates.
yeah, a little out of control, leaves it for Brown Hager, and she's right, almost coughs it up. Wallace tries to snatch it and does. Weber steps into it in rhythm, hits iron.
Illinois team, they're just trying to operate and try to get some viable offensive firepower down there. We've got to do our jobs on the defensive end. And that's what she said prior to the game.
Narrow loss the last week of the season to this Iowa team at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Taught this Illini team a lot of lessons, trying to put it to use here, but the Destiny Jackson trying to get her team into it. They work it through. Brown Hager under 10 to shoot as she darts along the baseline, gets her own miss.
Exceptionally well.
And Christy, that's now 12 assists on 15 baskets in this game as Hayden goes to. Iowa has been in command of this game from the very get-go. They've led by as many as 17 as Stolke fouled inside.
Well, that's why she was handed that foul.
And her third. So 3 on. Letty Vasconcelos also has 2 and 5 minutes on the floor. Stolke goes 1 for 2. Does she purposefully use the backboard to try and keep that alive?
Absolutely. I'm going to say yes to that. I mean, it was smart.
Parchment.
I mean, it's been a seamless season for her in terms of how she's been able to elevate range in the last 6 games. I mean, that just speaks to her continued evolution. Their man-to-man defense. Jen Jensen said she was anticipating maybe some changes.
Stremlo toying with the defense in the Big Ten tournament and NCAA tournament. Now you're looking at Taylor Stremlo putting on a show for the Hawkeyes and their future as Hannah Stolke, the senior.
Right? That Iowa teaches their post players, and it looks very familiar with who they recruit and bring in to operate and execute in there. She's been able to do in terms of her impact across the board.
Brown Hager slicing through the defense. She's fouled. And right now, later on, it'll be Michigan and Oregon battling it out. And how fun, Christy, to have 2 tournaments, just 8 double-digit seeds have advanced to the quarterfinals. Only 1 to the semi by Naomi Benson. A freshman for the Illini getting some action here as Weber. A difficult turnaround shot goes.
Listen, I'm shaking my head.
Mark.
Look at what Iowa's trying to do, get the ball down in the painted area where they have found so much success in this contest, doubling up Illinois.
NCAA, could they potentially be the #1 overall overall seed with their huge number of quad one wins.
Yeah, I see Autumn Johnson right now typing on her computer. She's working on it right now as we speak.
So critical for the Hawkeyes this season, playing out of position, bringing the energy to is Hayden. How did she finish? Hager swoops in for the rebound.
Jan Jensen said, hey, we need to be able to play at the pace that we want on the offensive end. And double 30 to 14 advantage in the painted area.
Parchment travels. That is the 10th turnover from the lack of efficiency and offensive firepower that has hurt them in this game at this point. Cheers, Chit Chat, right for three.
Yeah, she reckons they're making plays on the offensive side as well, knocking in some triples.
Offensive foul, illegal screen is going to go on the Hawkeyes. This third quarter for the Illini in the hands of Barry Wallace. She will fade and cannot knock it down. We head to the final frame.
To fall.
So much quick ball movement for the Hawkeyes on offense this season. Stremlo attacks, fighting for the rebound.
Over here.
Well, and guys, one more note. He went to the same high school as Shauna Green. Pete did. Clinton High School, 19.
Michigan, Oregon coming up as Brown Hager in the passing lane to ignite the Illini, speeding down the floor with the finish.
Yeah, Illinois.
Iowa came into this tournament winning 6 straight games. They started out 9-0 in Big Ten play, dropped
To her, so she has the freedom to do what she wants down there, and she's doing it.
Wallace, three, banks, why not?
Production on the offensive end.
A tough one for Wallace, leading scorer on this team, 7 points, 3 of 13. Waltzing in is
Slot area right below the free throw line. Now you're cooking.
Wallace slices through, has that denied. Gets it right back at the rim. That opens up right to push. Looking down low to Houston, nearly a three-point play. Quarterfinal today, UCLA, Ohio State victorious already. Here is Stolke, the mid-range is good, and the passing continues. Seats really since the tip of this game. The Illini have been uncomfortable, shooting just 26% from the floor, but you'll take it.
Shauna Green over there applauding the effort of her team, and that's pure coaching right there.
Iowa keeps pouring.
Showcase event, and she was just the sweetest thing. But she is a fierce competitor for sure.
Destiny Jackson named to that recognition, both her and Parchment, number 30 in blue. Stolke attacking right to the 20 assists. That is the Iowa brand of basketball. It's led to wins, but also, Chrissy, it's just aesthetically pleasing. It's fun to watch.
Stack them up. I mean, how many wins, man? I mean, she just brings that energy. I'm telling you, this is a quick video.
Buckeyes are playing some of their best basketball of the year right now and coming to Indianapolis. Off the steal, Brown Hager, a 22-point called on Selection Sunday as Brown Hager nearly drains it. Flying in is Jackson. Bodies flying everywhere, and there's Barry Wallace to reverse it up. Taken away by Aaliyah Guyton. Still a ton of energy here by the Illini. That three by Jackson is to the semifinals once more. 64-58 the win.
What a solid fight, though, by Illinois. Not ditching air. Trying to give their best effort.
Fourth semi the last 5 years for the Iowa Hawkeyes. They know how to win, and there was no rust to shake off coming in to their first game in the 2026 All-State Big Ten Women's Basketball Tournament.
They themselves into the painted area, plus 10 there, 36 to 26. But I think the most impressive thing that Iowa did in this game, 20 assists on 26